Hi viewers, again we are going to meet Mr. Hyder Ali Syed. Good morning, Mr. Hyder Ali.
Vanakkam. Good morning.
Yeah, actually, already we discussed so many topic about the history and as well as the mythology and so many things. So now again we have some question. What is Aryavarta? So nowadays, so the again I can hear so many news about Ramar temple and so many information and even this corona crisis, the government is are giving some announcement about the Ramar temple. What is happening actually? Who are the core problem creator of all these things? So what is Aryavardha basically?
Actually, Aryavarta means land of the Aryans. But actually, to understand Aryavarta, we have to go back in history, right from the beginning. Again, back to Adam. Adam is black. First language is Tamil. Cradle of civilization, Tamil Nadu, Sri Lanka, Kumari Khanda. Actually, Adam used to have twins, one male, one female. First son was born Cain, who was not the color of the Adam because Adam was a black man. Second Cain son was Abel, twins, one male, one female. Marriage used to take place like this: Cain marrying Abel's sister, Abel marrying Cain's sister. Since Cain color was different from other brothers, so he wanted to marry his own twin sister, which was forbidden as per the law. And since his offering was rejected, so he was cursed and banished from the cradle of civilization as he has committed the murder. From the cradle of civilization, he was banished and he migrated to Europe. That is called Ice Age. So basically, Arya, father of Aryan race, is Cain, the murderer. And since they migrated to Europe, and after that, third son is Shiva, Seth, whom God has given all the information, blessed DNA, genealogy, blessed race, royal genealogy of Seth, and every information is with Tamil Shiva. And at the time of Adam, there were two races: Cain, Aryan race, and Tamil, governed by the Tamil Shiva genealogy. So basically, since he was cursed and banished from the cradle of civilization, and Bible says in Genesis that he will be restless wanderer on the earth with a sign. And one more prophecy is in the Bible regarding Cain, that the land will not give the yield. That land is forbidden for him. So if we go back, the Stonehenge, the only civilization which the Europeans have is the Stonehenge, and there are various tombs. The reason behind that is that I feel that when Cain migrated to Europe, since he has seen Adam living in a house, so that Stonehenge is nothing but the house of Cain. And because since the height at that time was 90 feet, above 60 to 90 feet height was there, so that Stonehenge is nothing but a house of Cain, which he built for himself. And the Bible says that ground is forbidden for him. So when any person dies from his family, they used to keep the dead on top of the soil and they used to cover it with the stone. So this was a tomb culture among the Aryan race. And secondly, they had no civilization, no culture, as no warner had come to them, because uh, all prophets are from noble birth. And since European race or Aryan race are a generation of incest, so no prophet had come among their race. So here the restless wanderer on the earth. We will go into history. Restless wanderer by land and restless wanderer on the by sea. There are two restless wandering on the earth by the Aryans across the globe. We have spoken about the civilization. Now we are talking about the culture. Their culture was basically sex, food, and violence, survival of the fittest, because they were living in ice age and there was no vegetation, and the only thing they were the barbaric, and they were hunter gatherer society. And sometimes they don't had any food to eat, so they used to eat their old people, children among their race, so they were cannibals also. So, and the only people who survive those environment was the fittest person. He used to survive and he used to dominate the other people of his Aryan race. So now we come straight to after the period of Mahabharata. As Mahabharata happened and Pandyan dynasty, Shiva Tamil Pandyan dynasty was totally wiped out, and there was an easy way for Aryans to enter into Indus Valley civilization. After that, they they had some tough time with Semitic black race, and they entered Semitic black race and they started killing them also. And later on, among the Semitic blacks, we have Saul, the first king appointed, David, and then Solomon. So from Indus Valley towards Jerusalem, these Aryans went towards that side, and the one group of Aryans, they migrated towards Kalinga, interior of Kashmir and other part of India. And since India there was no actually, as Pandyan dynasty was destroyed, so there was no opposition, there was no one to stop the barbaric race Aryans. So the educated Siddha of that time,
Actually, you're talking about North India, right?
yeah, North India, around Pakistan and Kashmir and North India. So during that time, the Siddhas and the various groups of people, they started educating the Aryans. And since Sanskrit was an oral language, the Tamil, when I say Tamil, I refers to all the black people. So I'm not talking about Tamil Nadu. So Tamil race elites, the Siddhas, they contacted Aryan settlers and educated them, gave their Sanskrit language and gave into a written form. And later on, all the information which the Tamilians had, they translated it into Sanskrit, and later on they killed all the Siddhas and their holy books, and all the works of Tamils were destroyed, and whatever the information which the Tamil people had was now translated into Sanskrit. So Sanskrit is their language, but the matter which they have is belonging to Tamil race, but in a mythological way and in a corrupted form, interpolation. Shiva, who was administrator, a Siddha, was portrayed as a barbaric caveman wearing animal skin, and he was a Aghori concept was introduced among them. So these two types of Shiva we see, how one portraying as a caveman, and the Tamil culture we know they are right from the beginning they were a civilized society under Tamil Shiva Pandyan dynasty. So it was actually then in India it was the Aryans introduced certain policies to govern the people, which was thought by the Tamil people in themselves. But later on, when they came into power, they transferred everything from meditation. From meditation, they transferred it into bhakti marg. And since they said we cannot concentrate on during meditation, we need some object. So this is how idol was introduced for them. Then yoga was also eliminated. Bhakti marg, singing, dancing. Then Koil was supposed to be administration center, became the like a private club for the elites. They introduced Devdasi, singing, dancing, and all that prostitution, because Tamil culture, begging and prostitution is forbidden. So prostitution was started in the Koil under the name of Devdasi. Since as the Pandyan dynasty was very weak, people were there in India, but they were weak. And the whole thing was operated by the Chatiyar business community and other people. So later on, during Gautam Buddha time, when the Aryans have introduced one more concept called rebirth. Rebirth, they said to the people that you have to serve the Aryans, Brahmin, and in the next life, if you become Brahmins, then you will attain moksha or salvation. So this is how one concept of Asivagama was corrupted by these, taken over by the Aryans and was corrupted. And since the elites among the Tamilians, they got corrupted because of the women and white skinned people, and so everything under Vishkanya concept slowly went into their hand. They are a handful, but still because of their policies, they are still ruling today. So the first king among the Indian side was Gautam Buddha, who left the palace and attain went into awakening of Kundalini chakra, and then he went into towards his people, educating about the rebirth concept, and that no human can give moksha or salvation. You have to return back to the Asivagam system. So after that, when people of Kalinga side, the black community, they got educated and they returned back to their Asivagam system. Later, after Gautam Buddha's death, Samrat Ashok, the Mauryan Empire, they entered into Kalinga and they slaughtered, genocide the black over there. So here the question is, one murder committed by the Cain, how his generation are become the mass killers on the earth. So Kalinga war destroyed the black people over there, destroyed the original Asivagam concept, and after the genocide, uh, Samrat Ashok started religion in the name of Buddhism, and
He took over that.
yeah, he took and he corrupted the form of Buddhism, and some seven to 800 people migrated. They fled by boat to Sri Lanka, and later the Tamil people, the Pali speaking people, and the Sinhalese, they are nothing but by DNA they are Tamil. The only difference is that they are speaking Tamil Pali language, and Ashoka also sent his son and daughter to Sri Lanka. This is the one part of the history.
Actually, Kalinga War itself, they defeated the native people, and then the prince of native people escaped from there, and they settled in Sri Lanka.
Okay.
So in that case, there is no point to send Ashoka, their daughter and son, to Sri Lanka, because already their enemy is settled there. So in that case. But still, he sent their daughter and son. Then there might be some master plan there.
The master plan.
So that those plan might be executed in the recent day.
Yeah, because this is what is happening. Those the seed was born during the Kalinga war, after Kalinga war. The seed is we saw in trying to destroy LTT and Trikonamala, taking over the Trikonamalai. Trikonamalai is nothing but the real Kailasha, where Shiva was taught by God by pen, and its guidance centers, and the Quranic name for Quranic and biblical name for that place is called Baka, house of guidance. So this part of the history. Now the trade from goods from India taken over by the Aryans and into Europe. So this is the second part of the history, and later Roman Empire also entered into uh, Jerusalem. They looted Jerusalem twice, and ultimately there was from Turkey to Kashmir. There were two empires: Persian Empire and the Roman Empire. And since under the persecution, the Bani Israel, they migrated to Africa and Arabia, and by the time Jesus Christ had come, they were the 12 tribe of house of Israel was not there, and Jesus Christ clearly says that I have come only for the lordship of house of Israel, not for Gentile. Gentile are the Aryan settlers, and Bible calls them children of swine. And later on, Prophet Muhammad, he made the new Qibla in Mecca for Bani Israel, for house of More, and from there um, uh, from 7th century onwards to 1500th century, the Moors occupied, they governed Hijaz area of Arabia, plus Africa, and plus they occupied Spain, and they educated the barbaric race of Europe, taught them how to live in a decent way, civilized way there. But in the 15th century, again, the Aryans, together with the Mughals, Genghis Khan's people, they entered into Mecca and they toppled the Bani Israel Moor administration, and they took over Mecca in 15th century.
So by Ottoman Emperor.
Yeah, Ottoman Empire. So this was the few land atrocity done by the Aryan settler as restless wanderer on the earth with a sign. Now we talk about the in the 16th century. Before 16th century, because of the Ottoman Empire, the trade between India to by land to Europe was stopped.
Actually, who are Ottoman Empire actually? Basically by race.
By race, actually they are from Mongolians,
Okay.
Mongolians and mixed race. So actually, what they do, actually, the Aryans, they give their women to the kings, and once the king is in their hand, control the head and you control the body. So they take over the army. So the same thing happened in during the time of Akbar. Akbar got married to Jodha, and actually by DNA, the Mongolians are short people, like how we see the Assami, the Nepalis. These are the how their characteristic is the physical looks. And after getting married, the Man Singh took over the Mughal army, and then the whole under the Maurya and the Mughal Empire, they rule India. So it was the same ruling under the name of Muslim and Hindu.
Okay, actually, I have a question here. So basically, Mughal emperor or from origin from how to say Mongolian.
Mongolian.
Then the Mughal emperor and their warriors should be short people. But history says they are above the average height of in Indian, the native people. How it
So that's what I'm saying. When Jodha got married to Akbar, and maybe Jodha had children from the Aryan race itself, and the army general became Man Singh, brother of Jodha.
Okay.
So the whole army is under their control. Control the head and they control the body. Vishkanya concept. So and the Mughals in India are 7 feet, 6 feet, not the way how the Chinese Mongolians look. So it is clear that the Mughals in India are none but the Aryans disguised as Mughal ruling India in the and together they are maintaining the Varna Dharam. Okay,
That
so
means either they might be a mixed race or in the name of Mughal and Mongolian, the Aryan could rule the land. That's what you're telling.
Yeah. Because basically the only weapon which the Aryans have is their women, and since Cain committed murder because of the women, and they are using their women to seduce the other race people, black people, Chinese people, African people, and they are using their women to seduce the elites among the natives, and they are taking over the power. That's why the Khajuraho temple, because the pornographic stuff is not a part of Asivagam culture. So they made a night culture club where they seduce the elites from South India, and Khajuraho was actually a corrupt place where the elites of Asivagams were corrupted. So this is how the pornographic is the only way they are taking over the other land. They are maybe their main weapon is their women. Now that we are now in the Moor left Spain. This side we are coming to Spain. Spain was left by Moor, and in 16th century, because due to Mughal Empire, the goods from India was not taken by the land route to Europe was stopped. So the traders, now again here we have the restless wanderer on the earth by sea route. So they wanted to discover, they want to reach India. So they started their voyage from the sea. So Columbus reached America, and there he saw the Red Indians, and he started slaughtering them, killing them, genocide the majority of the black population, Red Indian population there.
Yes.
And then later on they found out that the Moors, the people who educated the Spain people, they are living in West Africa. So then the slave trade started in the 16th century. 16th century, the Moors, the I think they are tribe of Judah, seed of David, they were taken to America, and they did slave trade started, and America was built by the Moors again, Bani Israel. So this is and then South America they went, they destroyed the native over there, and South America is basically Puru and all are part of Tamil land. So they destroyed the natives over there. Then Captain Cook went to Australia. Again the black Australian, they are Tamilians. They were slaughtered and killed. And because as per when I read the history of Australia, the gold was found in the sand of Australia. So the gold rush started over there. Then later on, China, they could not defeat Chinese people, so they started opium war.
Yeah.
Opium war. So and then later Africa became this. They divided the Africa into like Scrabble, and they are ruling the Europeans are divided the Africa and Scrabble the Africa, and they are ruling them. And there are lots of killing of genocide of people happening, which people are not ready to tell the thing. And in India, from 5,000 years, we are living in caste system, worst type of slavery. So this is what happens when your karma, for your selfish greed, you are doing some wrong deed, and that wrong deed is carried on by your future generation. So Cain, one mistake, this is what is happening. So we should understand that we have the Asivagam concept of Satkani Satmuni concept, where in a mature age you should have children, few children, so that they should be a boon for the society. But as for the Aryan cultures, they only want is more production, more children, so that they can take over other people's land. So this, it's a war between two culture. One is Asivagam culture and one is the Aryan culture based on sex, food, and violence, and survival of the fittest.
Okay, now looking at the modern societies, the Western people who are living in Europe and as well as the North American and Australian people are looking so civilized and modernized. And how it can be? Who is the real problem? Who is following the traditional Aryan strategy now?
See, when after First World War, Europe became civilized because they entered into the age of spiritualism, yoga, education, and now they are living in a what to say, single currency. The mafia is gone over there. The main corrupted people are the Antichrist, the coming of Antichrist, which Biblical and Quran talks about. The coming of Antichrist is nothing but children of Cain coming to Indus Valley. So Aryans, Roman Empire, Persian Empire are now hiding behind the label of Shia, Sunni, Sufi, Wahhabi. So these are the people who are actually carrying the what you say the want to implement the cave culture on all the society. So that's why today we have because New World Order began in just recently when Saudi they got discovered oil, and there was a partnership between Saudi and America to protect them, so that and all the oil deal will be done in rupees. So these two, there was the seed of a new world order was born.
So by the way, they are vice versa. They are giving
protection to each other.
protection. Yeah,
Protection to each other.
and technology protection. Yes.
Because Mecca is basically occupied, illegally occupied by the Saudis, because that thing belongs to Africans. Africans are children of Israel.
Okay, actually, who are the real white people who are living in Saudi now? So are they the native people, or are they Aryans, or what is the real race of them?
See, in chapter 9 of Quran, this talks about the fighting between the fight taking place. So actually the fight is between the Aryans and the natives, the black people. So after the fight, when they lost, so Quran is clearly saying that whoever takes asylum, educate them, and they are not allowed to enter into Mecca. So the Hijaz area belongs to the black people, and the Najd area, where the Saudi comes from, all the Aryans from Hijaz was sent down to Najd area. And maybe Saudi is from the one of the people who from the ancestors who have fought with Prophet Muhammad. So this is what the brief history of Saudi. So then later on, like this is what has happened, and there are many from all angles they are attacking Tamil civilization. Right, for example, like yugas, ages, Ice Age, Bronze Age, Iron Age, and civilization. This story is totally connected with cave culture. Tamil culture.
You mean to say European civilization?
Aryan civilization, European civilization. In Tamil culture, we have just two systems. One is Satyug, that is the rule of a good king, and Kalyug, rule of the bad king. And after the invasion of coming of Aryans, from that day till today, we are having Kalyuga only. And now we have in the final phase. Your question was on Aryavarta. Aryavarta is a sponsor agenda of the Muslim world by DNA Aryan settlers, because in India, handful of Aryans they cannot take over Aryans. They cannot implement Aryavarta on the land of Tamils. Tamil, when I say Tamil, I mean the full black people from whole of India, which consists of 60 to 70% of Indian population. So they cannot implement, and since long time, Periyar, Ambedkar and all this, they are fighting against Brahmanism. And Brahmanism is protected by the Muslim organization who gets funded by the Aryan lobby. Shia are Persian, Sunni are Romans, and Wahhabis are the Saudi thing. So these Aryavarta is nothing but agenda of the Muslim world who wants to dominate from Europe to India.
Actually, the reality is different here. Actually, here since you are talking about Brahmanism, then directly it is linking to RSS, Sangh Parivar, and the BJP parties who standing against the Muslims. So how they can have a coalition? So because the people of RSS and the Muslim people are standing against. So, but your statement is absolutely wrong. How it is? It
See,
could be.
Assam, we had that census report, NRC and CAA. What is the percentage? 4.5 lakh people belongs to Muslim community, out of which maybe 60-70% are Bangladeshis. So they are refugee only. They are not part of this India land. But for around 14 point some lakh, 14 lakh people by race, they are SC, ST, OBC, and the tribal of Assam that side. So who got affected by that? But the people who are sitting in Shaheen Bagh and in Chennai Shaheen Bagh, they are fighting for what?
For stopping the NRC.
But for Muslim only, na.
Yes.
And first of all, the people in Chennai, in Shaheen Bagh, by race they are Tamil. So they should go by Quran, identifying themselves as a Tamil. Why they are using the word label, first of all? Because Muslim is a faith, and faith is unseen, and the only person who can declare anyone as a Muslim is by God, and that will happen on the day of judgment. Muslim world, maybe their God is a Muslim world, because they Muslim worlds are Aryan settlers, and maybe the Muslim of Tamil Nadu, their God is Aryans. So Ram Mandir is possible only because of Muslim organization in India, and the people who are not reading Quran, they are basically reading the doctrine of Bukhari. Bukhari is nothing but he's from Persian Aryans. See, compared to Christian organization and Muslim organization, a Christian is clearly saying that we are following doctrine of Paul, who is a Gentile apostle. So yeah, at least they are some they are speaking the truth, na. Word of Jesus, they say is we don't follow. We follow Saint Paul doctrine that all we have to believe that Jesus Christ died for us, and we are now just we have to believe in Jesus Christ died for us sin.
But Jesus is not a prophet of Gentiles, right?
No, he's not a prophet of Gentile.
Then how the Saint Paul can
See,
give some,
the Roman Catholic was started by whom? Roman Empire.
yes, of
So,
course. By race they are Aryan.
The Aryan. So Aryan started Catholic Christianity. But here I'm talking that at least the Christians, people who say they are Christian, they are actually through their words. What they are preaching, they are telling to the people that we are teaching doctrine of Paul. You don't have to get circumcision. You don't have to follow the laws. This is what the doctrine of Paul says. But people here, Muslim people, they are following doctrine of Bukhari, Persian, Aryan. So and they are and his word is connected with Prophet Muhammad, and by Quran, Prophet Muhammad never entertained Aryan settlers. So basically, they are most deceptive of all the organization, all the religious organization. Muslim organization is the most deceptive of all, and the most powerful because of oil and Hajj pilgrimage. They are getting money, and since the starting point of New World Order was with dollar and petrol, I think in the coming years, the dollars will go down, the oil prices will go down, and we are seeing in the lockdown the Hajj income is totally blocked. So sooner or later the Saudi will not be able to pay their agent all over the world, the Wahhabi agent, who for money are creating terrorism all over the world and misguiding people, misinterpreting Quran, and they are just propagating hadith.
Okay, so my understanding is, for example, in India, so the member of RSS and Sangh Parivar, by race they might be Tamilan or their origin. So the same thing is applicable for the Muslims also. So by race, they were mostly they were Tamilan, and they are following the thing. So here the fight between the native peoples. So but the Muslim organization and their leaders, and as well as the Sangh Parivar and their leaders, wrongly guided them. Because of that, they are getting fight each other. So what is the benefit? Even by the way, how they are getting benefit? That means the Aryan settlers, how they are getting benefit towards this.
See, first of all, the money is pouring in from Middle East.
Okay.
The money from Saudi is being paid to RSS also, because the RSS, the elites, the top level people are Vaishnav people, and Vaishnav cult and Hindu label was given by the Persian Aryans. So it's not the original label of India. And the people who are in the members of RSS are basically Shivaite,
Okay.
and these people are brainwashed. They are brainwashed, and they are just following blindly, like how Muslim people, they are blindly following their ulamas and their different groups like TNTJ and other SDPI and all these people. But the fact is, the money is coming from Saudi, and now in few months, I few years or few months maybe, the Saudi's economy, the dollars are going to collapse. So these people, when they will not get the money, the whole syndicate will collapse. So it's the future native has to think whether they have to understand Quran and come back to the right part of Asivagam, or blindly follow Hadith and protect the Aryan lobby. This is what the thing. And basically now, actually, these people, the construction of Ram Mandir is nothing but victory of Aryans. They think the Aryavarta is complete, but the thing is that they plot and they planned, but the best planner is God.